All right, so the greatest gift an entrepreneur or a business owner can gift themselves is more time. And I'm not even talking about more time to do things as in, oh yeah, I won't do shit and I will just give myself more time to get to the task. No, what I mean exactly is you wake up early, you get shit done, therefore you have more time throughout the day, because if you're an entrepreneur, you know that things revolve around effort. And in order to make that effort be the best productive effort ever, you got to make sure there's more time in the schedule in order to put in that effort. And one thing I found is that when I wake up early, and in fact right now it's like 7:03 a.m. and I'm not even considering this early. In fact, I woke up at like 6:20 a.m. When I give myself more time throughout the day, as in I wake up early and I begin my day earlier, obviously by going to bed early as well, but when I give myself an earlier head start, I'm able to get so much more done. And on top of that, the feeling that you get from that is you now feel extremely productive. In fact, 10x more productive than you would if you woke up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. And I'm not bashing on those that wake up at 10 or 11 a.m. because me, myself, struggle with waking up so early at times. Or should I say a part of me does? Because the majority of me wants to wake up early every day at 6 a.m. if possible. And sometimes it's hard for me. I'm not even going to lie to you. Sometimes it's extremely hard for me to get out of bed. And not because I'm not going to do anything throughout the whole day, but because some of us are wired for laziness. And as much as you don't want to be a lazy person, sometimes we just fall into comfort by habit. However, that doesn't need to be it, because this morning I made a decision. I said, hey, I'm getting out of bed because I'm getting out of bed. And that's exactly what happened. Got out of bed and I was able to get some sun early in the morning and get some water in me, get some vitamins in me as well. And you feel 100x more, not productive, but you feel like you're on the right start. You feel like you got a head start. And throughout the day, you do feel productive. However, in the morning, you may not feel the most productive, but doesn't mean that you won't eventually feel productive once you stay up for a while. Because it's those first 30 to 45 minutes from when you first get up, and let me know how long it is for you. For me, it's definitely the first 30 to 45 minutes where it's like it's me versus me, and I'm basically telling myself, go back to sleep, Alex. Go back to sleep, brother. Like, trust me, you want your sleep, right? It's the healthy thing to do, right? And even though I only slept like 6 hours, maybe 5, it doesn't mean that I shouldn't get my full rest, right? But it's you versus you in the morning. It's that mental battle that you're like, like, should I go back to sleep or should I stay up? And in fact, I rushed to the bathroom so that, first of all, I can take my morning piss. And on top of that, so that I can brush my teeth, because I know that water will wake me up enough to where it's like I'm doing the brush, I'm brushing my teeth in the morning and I'm making sure that I'm standing up. I'm making sure that I'm brushing, and that will keep me awake enough to stay awake, right? I'm not going to just start brushing my teeth 5 seconds in. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. So at this point, it really comes down to being able to stay up at least for 30 to 45 minutes so that your body is awake. The voice in your head has stopped as far as it telling you to go back to bed, because I know that's the instinct feeling, at least for me. But whatever works for you best. Let me know what you think as far as whether getting up early in the morning is something that's beneficial, or if getting up early in the morning is something that you're like, you know what, I'd rather not. I'd rather just wake up at 10 a.m. and move on with my day. As an entrepreneur, as you know, in most cases, you might want to get up earlier just to get a head start on the day. And I know that Jeff Bezos, right, is like, he goes in the office at 10 a.m. and he doesn't even have to wake up super early. But you got to he's a billionaire. Are you a billionaire right now? I'm definitely not. So it's like, most people say, oh, but like billionaires don't have to wear suits. Like Mark Zuckerberg doesn't need to wear a 3-piece suit or dress for success. Right. But they already made it to that point. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't implement those principles. I'm not saying you have to wear a 3-piece suit every day, but doesn't mean we have to avoid those foundational principles in order to get to the top. Some people may already be at the top, and they may not even have to follow those principles anymore. But you don't know if they started off with those foundational principles. It really comes down to, what type of lifestyle are you wanting to design for yourself? Because sometimes we allow society to get in our heads, and damn, it's tough sometimes. It really is tough sometimes, because the more you let society and the normal thing get in your head, the more you'll be in control. And one thing I was talking about yesterday is, do you want to be in control of the AI robot, or do you want it to be in control of you? You probably don't want it to be in control of you, as I don't want the AI robot to be in control of me. So we might as well use it to our advantage, as if it's our weapon that we're able to use responsibly, that we're able to use when we have to use it. It's like a gun. You could either use it for bad and let your thoughts control you, or you can use it for good, for when a situation comes up and something has to happen with that weapon. So at the end of the day, it really just comes down to, are you taking advantage of the tools you have around you as of today? And are you making it happen? It really just comes down to the foundational principles, at least based off my experience in becoming a disciplined person, and coming from not being able to wake up in the morning consistently, which is extremely it's something that was so tough for me, because I couldn't get up and get to work right away. And as an entrepreneur, you might want to get to work as fast as you can. And whether that's working on yourself, whether that's working on the business, but you want to start getting to work, because it really just comes down to how much effort you're putting in, how much inputs are coming in from the effort, right? How much outputs are coming out. So the inputs will determine how many outputs will come out. So it comes down to you. Let me know what you think about this, if getting up early is something that would resonate more with you compared to getting up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Or you might consider 10, 11 a.m. early, as I used to. I don't blame you. However, I found that getting up at 6 a.m. not only enhances my mood, assuming I got minimum 5 to 6 hours of sleep, not only does it enhance my mood to feel more productive, and feeling is something that will allow you to make decisions how you want to make them, because emotions lead decisions and thoughts lead emotions. So if waking up in the morning at 6 a.m., let's just say, right? Let's just say 6 a.m. If waking up at 6 a.m. allows you to feel better because you feel more ahead, then why wouldn't you want to feel better throughout the day because you got ahead? It really comes down to how you want to feel throughout the day. Or maybe you get up in the morning and you just feel tired and you're like, no, screw this. But deep down inside, a big part of you is like, no, but I want to get up early because I know that's the right thing for me. Because when I get up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., I feel groggy and lazy and I feel like I overslept, and then I feel like I got nothing done. And then what I do, I basically just start scrolling on social media. So if you don't want to go that direction and you don't want to be someone that wakes up feeling behind or wakes up feeling groggy, well, you might have to join a morning group where, I don't know, maybe you go to the gym together, maybe you do yoga together, or maybe you just hop on a Zoom call together. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how you want to feel as a person. How I want to feel as a person may be different than how you want to feel as a person, but let me know how you want to feel in the mornings. And by letting me know that, I know that I'm not the only one that wants to feel productive, or that I'm not the only one that felt unproductive by waking up late, if that's how you feel. So just let me know, because at the end of the day, I really do care to know about other people's opinions and know about what other people think as far as what I'm talking about here. Because at the end of the day, I'm just documenting this journey for myself, and I'm making these videos for myself so that one day I can look back at all the progress that I made and be like, wow, it's been a journey, and the journey continues. So personally, I know that most don't prefer to wake up at 6 a.m. Trust me, I would prefer to have more sleep than to have less. That doesn't mean that you can't have the required amount of sleep while waking up at 6 a.m. And if waking up at 6 a.m. means that you feel more productive, depends how you want to feel then, right? Go after how you want to feel. And the only reason that people want to feel fulfilled and feel ahead of themselves and feel like they're doing something in this world is because most want fulfillment. They just don't know that they want fulfillment. And whatever that means to you, feeling like you're actually doing something in this world, feeling like you're actually progressing in this world, at least that's what I feel most people want to feel like. But they can't get to that because they're distracted by so many things. Focus is literally like addiction. You just have to stay focused day by day, day by day. And in some cases, it's hour by hour, hour by hour. And if you really want to cut it down, it may be 30-minute segments, or in 30-minute segments, right? It may be 30-minute segments. And it's okay, because we all have to have a start somewhere. So you might as well be the person that designs your life. And as I heard before, architecting your life by design, which is one of the most crucial things that I've heard in my entire life. Architecting your life by design. And you decide. You decide how you want to design your life, because at the end of the day, it really comes down to a decision that you have to make. And it may be a double-edged sword. It may be longevity of feeling amazing in life, or longevity of feeling the complete opposite. And you got to pick what route you go towards, but it will require sacrificing bad habits if you'd like to go towards the longevity of, let's say, fulfillment, or longevity of feeling amazing in life. You got to pick your hard here, because it may be hard later on when it kicks in because you didn't do anything with your life, compared to doing the hard things now, getting it over with, passing all the missions of life, and then being able to do whatever you want. So it really is the double-edged sword. Life ain't easy. However, we could keep it simple by doing the basics, mastering the basics. As you already heard, or may have heard, Bruce Lee said that he doesn't fear the man that knows 1,000 different kicks. He fears the man that has practiced one kick 1,000 times. Because in that case, he's mastered that one kick. And he can most likely defeat an opponent with one kick because of how effective it is. That's why in kickboxing, when a beginner goes to the bag and starts punching the bag, right? They typically have all this power that they're letting out, and all this power is just going at it, and it makes you think that, do they really know what they're doing, or are they spreading themselves so thin that they don't even have any power, but they think they do because they're throwing all this power, all this potential that they have in them, we can call it. Do they really have power though, if they're spread super thin? Because that was the mistake that I made when I first went into a boxing gym. The mistake that I made was the coach said, hey, go punch that bag. I want to see what you got. I was like, yeah, give me some gloves. Got some gloves. I said, all right. I didn't know shit at this time. However, I just start punching the bag. Right. Going so hard at it. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm just punching. I'm like, I'm going to show this coach how much power I got. And as I'm punching the bag with all the power that I can give it, he later tells me, all right, look, you have no form. All you're trying to do is throw power. And you're going to get knocked out if you were to go in the ring because you think you have all this power. But really, it's not going to work when you're against an opponent because the foundational skills matter the most. That's what matters, is learning the basics, mastering the basics. Because at the end of the day, what that coach told me that day stuck with me for the rest of my life. And that was, if you master form, power will follow. So you got to master the foundational skills. You got to master form at its finest, and power will follow. It's like the Bruce Lee quote, right? If you practice one thing repetitively, you will master it. But if you practice so many things at once, can you catch a chicken, or can you catch two chickens with your bare hands by chasing both at once? No, you can't. You might want to start with one first and then move on to the other once you caught that chicken, right? So you might as well be a person that masters the foundational skills, because then it'll compound so much that power will follow. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. I really want to hear from what you have to say about what I'm talking about, and if you even agree with what I'm talking about. If you disagree, let me know as well, because I really want to know the opinions of those watching this. Because if you're watching this and have gotten this far, then obviously you're someone that is seeking more power, just like myself, seeking more power in the mindset to be able to take over your life. And like I said earlier, architect your life by design. All right, let's go.